Kakadosh Boker Or. I wanted to share with you a beautiful concept which is brought down in the Midrash. The Midrash says in Shir HaShirim, Amar Rashbi, says Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Shlosha Ketarim Hem. There are three crowns. Keter Malchut, Keter Kehuna, the Keter Torah. You have the crown of a king. A king wears a crown. You have Keter Kehuna, the Kohanim. They have the crown of Kehuna. The Keter Torah and Keter Torah. Keter Malchut is a shulchan. Why? Because it says Zer Zahav Saviv. Keter Kehuna, that means it has crowns around the shulchan. Keter Kehuna is a mizbeach. The mizbeach also has Zer Zahav Saviv, these crowns surrounding it. Keter Torah, Ze Aharon. That's the Aharon. So you have the mizbeach, the shulchan, the mizbeach, and the Aharon. The Aharon also says Zer Zahav. So why is it written Zar and we read it Zer? Meaning, if you would say Zer, you would spell it Zayin, Yod, Resh, Zer. Because whenever you say A, right, Zer, like Ashkenazim says Zer is the Saviv, it's with a Yod. If you just have Zayin, Resh, you could read it Zar. Zar is a stranger or something strange. Says, so what does it mean? Why is it written Zar and we read it Zer? Lomar lecha, to tell you, Madam Zocheh. If a person is Zocheh, they become a crown for him. And if not, it makes him into a stranger. Why is all by all of them it's written ve'asita? Meaning, by the shulchan and by the mizbeach, it's written ve'asita zer zahav saviv. You have to make for it. By the aron, it's written ve'asu, and they will do. Lelamedcha, to teach you sheketer Torah me'ula yoter mikulan. The keter Torah is the highest of the crowns. Zacha adam la Torah. If a person is going to come and he's going to be zocheh to Torah, it's ki'ilu is zocheh in everything. The Mishnah in Avot, Daled Yud Gimel says, right, very similar, in the name of Rabbi Shimon. And there it says, and that's what the Magen Avot, the Tashbetz actually says, it's the same Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. And there it says in Pirkei Avot. So beforehand we mentioned a Midrash in Shir HaShirim. Now the Mishnah in Avot, the Pirkei Avot that everyone mentions, right? Shlosha Keterim Hem, Keter Torah, Kehuna, Malchut. So here it brings down a different order. It brings down Torah first, then brings down Keter Kehuna, and then Keter Malchut. So he says, "Keter Shem Tov ole al gabehen." There it says that the Keter Shem Tov, the Keter of a good name, is above all of them. So we have to understand, why is it that in the Midrash, Rashbi didn't bring down the Keter Shem Tov? It's only in the Mishnah. And another thing is that the Mishnah says 3 Ketarim. It doesn't say 4 Ketarim. Because even though the Keter Shem Tov is Chashuv Shebekulam, so why don't you mention it? Say really, there's 4 crowns. And one of the 4 is Keter Shem Tov. And Keter Shem Tov is above everything. Even above Keter Torah, Keter Kehuna, Keter Malchut. No, it doesn't say that. It says there are 3 Ketarim. And then it says Keter Shem Tov ole al gabehem. So says the Al-Shich. Listen to the Al-Shich. The Al-Shich says, why does the Mishnah say Al Keter Shem Tov shu ole al gabehen? It says it goes above them. It's like it goes on top of them. And the Midrash, it says on Keter Torah, shi me'ula yoter mikulan, that it's better than the rest of them. What's the difference? The difference between them is Keter Torah u Keter bifnei atzmo. Keter Torah is a separate crown, but it's the most important. It's achi chashuv. But Keter Shem Tov is not a crown in itself. It's a part of all of the crowns, and therefore it's not a keter on its own. Only when you come and you put it with something else does it have some type of a form. But somebody that has midot tovot, he's got a Keter Shem Tov, but he doesn't have Torah, it's nothing. But it says en ha'aretz chasid, and ha'aretz cannot become a chasid. And the opposite, if a person has Torah and he doesn't have good midot, right? The Keter Torah is also not worth anything. Just like Chazal actually come and they say also as well. So Ken Melech or Kohen, that he does not have a Shem Tov, En Kitro Nechshav Klal. His Keter is nothing. So you need both. So according to this, now we understand the Gemara Berachot. The Gemara Berachot of Yud Zayin Amud Aleph says, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Asher mi shegadal b'Torah v'amalo b'Torah. Lo senach haruach liyotzro v'gadal ben Shem Tov v'niftar ben Shem Tov min ha'olam. V'alav amar Shlomo b'chokhmato. Tov Shem Tov v'niftar ben Shem Tov v'ayakol nishma. It's in Kohelet. This Gemara, by the way, we say it every single Shabbat morning, right after Musaf. Towards the end of Musaf, after Chazarat Hashatz Chadish Kabal, we come and bring this. Hashem Yishamal b'Torah. Right? Hashem Yishamal b'Torah, V'amalo b'Torah, v'chule v'chule. So he says, we have to understand from the Pasuk, we could bring a proof, Al Misha Niftar b'Shem Tov, but not Misha Amal b'Torah. And the Gemara is saying that Shlomo Melech is mashma, that it's going on everything. One more time, says the Gemara, says Rabbi Yochanan, Hashem Yishigadal b'Torah, some portion of the person that he grew up in Torah. V'amalo b'Torah, and he's being amel, he's working and toiling in Torah, and he's doing nachat ruach liyotzro. Gadal b'Shem Tov. Then he comes and he says that he's going to have a good name, and he's going to be Niftar b'Shem Tov. And then Shlomo Melech says, Tov Shem, Shem Tov. We're talking about the Tov Shem. We're talking about the good name. We're not talking about the Torah. So how is it that from this pasuk we're talking about a good name, and we're talking about Amal b'Torah? Hashem Yisha Amal b'Torah, and it's going back on everything. So the Al Shich HaKadosh comes and he says that Rabbi Yochanan came and he had the question, Tov Shem, Shem and Tov is mashma, that is going back on the Kohen and the Melech, that they are being nimshach b'shemen. Who gets anointed by oil? You know who gets anointed by oil? Not the Torah. You know who gets anointed by oil? The king. When they used to come and they used to coronate a king, they used to anoint them with oil. Who used to get anointed by oil? Kohanim. When they came to make Aaron a Kohen and all, they anointed them with oil. They made them into Kohen Gadol. They come, they anoint him with oil. That's why it's written by in Perek of Tehillim of by Aaron a Kohen, that Moshe Rabbeinu came and he says, so there it says over there, in Zakan, it's going down on the Zakan Aaron, the Shemen HaTov. That means it's going down, but he anointed him. So if you're going to tell me now, Tov Shem is Shemen Tov, it's mashma, it's only going back on the oil. Who gets anointed by oil? Only the king and the Kohen. And then Shlomo Melech comes and he says, Shem Tov is better than Kehuna Malchut, which means a Melech or a Kohen, that they don't have a good name. If you have a king or you have a Kohen that he doesn't have a good name, HaKeter Shel Kehuna v'Malchut, right, is not Nechshav Keter. It's not a crown. However, the question though is, why didn't you mention Keter Torah? So Rabbi Yochanan comes and he says, Shebichlal Hashem Tov She'amar Shlomo Melech, HaKavanah is Mi She'amal b'Torah. Because Hashem Tov by himself, for sure is not considered a Keter. So when you say that we're talking about the Keter Shem Tov here, right, the Shem Tov, it has to have already the Torah. It has to have it. Now we understand also why is it that the Mishnah did not say 4 Ketarim. Because the Keter Shem Tov is not a Keter on its own. It's Oleh al Gabehen. The Keter Shem Tov is only that it comes together with other crowns. On its own, it's not a crown. It only goes together with every single one. Because only it's going to be a Keter on top of another Keter. But if it's by itself, it's nothing. And the opposite. One of these Ketarim is nothing if it doesn't have a Shem Tov. Because that's the cause that it's going to be called a Keter, because Keter Shem Tov Oleh al Gabehem. So according to this now, it comes out we can answer also the Midrash. The Midrash comes and he says, why is it that they didn't come and they didn't skip out the Keter Shem Tov, but rather it was hinted? Why is it written Zar, right? Meaning it's actually written Zar, but we read it Zer. So Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai had the question, why is it in the Torah it's written 3 times the Zers, right? It should have been written 4 times Zer. Should have been written 4 times, right? So he comes and he says, but if you're going to come and you're going to be Zocher, it becomes a crown. If not, it becomes stranger to you. If a Badam Zocher and he has Maasim Tovim, all the 3 crowns become a Keter to him. But if he doesn't have Maasim Tovim, it's not considered nothing. But opposite, it becomes Zarut V'Nochiyut, it becomes a stranger to him. Because the Shem Tov is like an adornment and it's a fix to that which we already have, a Keter. If a person now comes and he's going to be Zocher to Torah, it's like he's Zocher to everything. The Midrash at the end asks, why does it say Ve'asita, by whether it's talking about the Shulchan or the Mizbeach, and by the Aron, which represents the Torah, it says Ve'asu. The Midrash answers, Shazoche b'Torah, if you're going to be Zocher in Torah, you're Zocher in all the crowns. So he says, that which was written Ve'asu is going on the ones which are acquiring it, not the ones that they already acquired. So according to the Midrash, it comes out that it's Mishakana, and not the one that's buying it. So what's going on exactly? And that besides the fact that it's written Vasu, it's in plural. Says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yavo Akol V'Yasku Ba'aron. Everybody should be able to come and to deal with the Aron. So everyone has the zechut of the Torah, because the zechut of the Torah is for everybody. It's not for one individual. The Torah goes on everybody. So according to the Rashbi, you could actually even add on Keter Kehuna Malchut. Not everyone could get it. It's only if you're born with it. However, though Keter Torah, anybody that could come, they could come, and they could take whatever they want. That's actually brought down in the Avodah Rabbi Natan. Avodah Rabbi Natan, it's brought down that the three Ketarim, Keter Kehuna, Malchut, right, and the Keter Torah, Keter Shem Tov, Keter Kehuna Keitzad. Even if you're going to give all the money in the world, you cannot have Keter Kehuna. Right, lo uzaro acharav b'it kunat olam. Only them. Keter Malchut, you could also give all the money in the world. No. V'David Avdi nasilaim leolam. It's David Avdi, David HaMelech, and going downwards. But Keter Torah is not like that. Amalah shel Torah, anybody that wants to come, they could take it. Hoy kol tzameh lechu l'mayim. Anybody that's thirsty, you go and you're able to drink the Torah. And therefore, the Al-Sheikh HaKadosh comes and he says that Rashbi didn't have the question, why is it written V'asu? Because Moshe Rabbeinu didn't do the Aron. It was B'tzalel. The question is, why isn't it written by the Shulchan Mizbeach V'asita? Because Moshe Rabbeinu didn't do it. So therefore, the Rashbi says, Mish zoche leketer Torah. It's as if that you were zoche to do everything. And therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, V'asita, you did it, but I didn't do it. I only do the Torah. I'm only learning Torah. No. The fact that you're learning Torah, it's kilu, you also did the Mizbeach and you also did the Shulchan. So you have the other ones as well. And therefore, he comes and he says, that's the difference also between somebody that acquires Keter Torah, that it's because of your choice, or Keter Kehuna Malchut, that it comes with Yerusha, and it comes with an inheritance, and you don't choose it. Keter Torah comes because you chose it. It wasn't, and it's not going to be taken away from you. Right? When you actually, person comes and he passes away, the opposite, it's going to add on a beautiful light. And that's why Shlomo Melech comes and he says, Tov Shem, Nishem and Tov, Yom HaMavet, Yom HaValado. What does that mean? So we just explained that this pasuk is going back also on the one that's learning Torah. The day of death is even more important than the day that he actually was born. Right? By the other ones, whether it's Malchut or Kehuna, right? It says Kehuna Gdola. The second that they die, they lost everything. Then she told me Yom HaMavet. The second a Kohen dies, he's not a Kohen anymore. You could make a nice signal on the kever, on the gravestone, that he was a Kohen. He's not a Kohen. He passed away. A king. He passed away. That's it. The Torah doesn't exist. By the Torah, Yom HaMavet is even greater than Yom HaValado, because now the Torah made him into a great person that never goes away from him. Right? He comes and he says, the day that Moshe Rabbeinu came and he left, he brought everybody together with the Chatzitzrot. Because the Torah is the only thing which is eternal. Everything else with death, it stops. Torah is the only thing that keeps on going. And that's why he comes and he says, Yom HaMavet is even greater than Yom HaValado, that goes back on the Keter Torah. And that's why it's so important to understand that which we mentioned before, right? This entire concept that we mentioned.